One last dance as a wife. It was 9 o'clock in the evening when Bill finally made up his mind and walked up the stairs to the bedroom. Anna, his gorgeous 26-year-old wife, was getting ready to go out with her girlfriends. He hadn't been particularly happy when she had gone out with those women last Friday, but he couldn't and wouldn't accept it as part of the new weekly routine. She saw the look on his face and sighed. "You're not going to nerd out over this, are you?" He nodded at the tiny dress spread out on the bed and the sexy blue lingerie she was wearing. She looked stunning in them. "I haven't seen this before," he said. She looked a little embarrassed. "Well, yeah, I bought them just this week." He thought for a second and went to the bathroom, returning with her underwear from the laundry basket. "So this is normal for a husband, then?" He pointed to a very plain, unremarkable set of bra and panties he held in his hand. "But you're happily buying this." He pointed to a tiny blue bra and a lace thong to match, barely concealing her charms, "for the sake of some men you've never even met before." He stared at her. "Unless—" He paused meaningfully. "Unless it's just another night out with the girls on a hunting trip. Maybe you actually arranged to meet someone there, like on a date." He tilted his head to the side as she stared at him incredulously. "No," she exclaimed. "There's no one else. How could you even think that?" "So," he said, ignoring her question and choosing his words carefully, "when you go out with your friends, you never dance with other men, hug them, kiss them, or let them touch you?" "How dare you even suggest that?" Now she was angry. "I dare to assume it because I know more about your girlfriends than you probably realize," he replied. "One single, two divorced, and then you. So that there's the complete package. Do you really expect me to believe that when they're looking for casual sex, they won't try to bring you down to their level? How dare you judge them?" She snapped at him. "I'm not judging them," he replied calmly. "They are free to make their own choices, just as you are." She looked at him suspiciously. "So you're telling me not to go? How can you call that a choice? I didn't tell you not to go. I just made it clear that I thought it was inappropriate behavior for a married woman and that your friends were dragging you into situations that would inevitably end badly for our marriage." She got angry. "Are you seriously suggesting that my going out with my friends could jeopardize our marriage?" She snorted derisively. "Don't be so damn insecure. I'll always come to your house. Why are you so worried?" "I'm worried because you're the most beautiful woman I know and you go clubbing with single girls I don't trust. Add to that horny men and alcohol, and it's a sure path to trouble. And," he continued, raising his hand to prevent her from interrupting, "our marriage is already in jeopardy because you think that this," he waved his hand at her near nakedness, "is something your husband should just accept without question. Well, it's too late now. I promised to meet them at 10, and you're going to make me late by keeping this up." She went back to her makeup. He decided to make one last attempt. "You also promised to respect your husband," he remarked wryly. "You seem comfortable enough to ignore that promise. Or are your girlfriend's feelings more important to you than mine?" "What the hell has gotten into you? Don't you trust me?" she snapped at me. "I'm going out for drinks with the girls, that's all. Now, for God's sake, leave me alone." He took a deep breath. "The thing is, I want to trust you, but I refuse to sit at home every Friday night wondering if you're going to take another step tonight and end up accidentally sleeping with some guy against the wall." "I would never do that. You—" He stopped her again. "Gail bragged about her exploits on social media last week. She's one of your friends, and that's exactly what she did. How long will it take before you start believing it's okay if I never find out?" She just stared at him, at a loss for words. He continued, now angry. "If you want to go dancing, invite me along. If you just want to rub up against strangers, then be honest and we can end this right now." "You're just being insulting," she attacked him. "No, I'm being honest. I don't believe you're not a dirty dancing and kissing lover who's looking for illicit affection, or worse, quick sex. I'm willing to believe you haven't slept with anyone yet. But that's the choice I'm offering you. Go or stay. It's up to you. But keep in mind that I have a choice too. If you leave, you can go out as much as you want. I won't be here when you get back. There you go. He said it. He'd given her every opportunity to understand his concerns, to hear his desire to fix their marriage. Now she had a choice. Him or them. You're kidding me. No. She was as angry as he'd never seen her in the 4 years they'd been a couple. No, he said quietly. If you want to dress like your slutty friends and go out drinking and dancing with them every Friday night, that's fine. I'm just telling you that the prospect of sitting around waiting is not how I see my future. Now, he said, heading for the door. I have things to do. I'll be downstairs when you've made your decision. She sat in front of the mirror thinking. She hadn't had sex, well, not really. She'd been sorely tempted last week, and she'd made nice to a guy in consolation, but that was all. And she liked the way men looked at her on the dance floor. It made her feel more desirable. Bill always complimented her on the way she looked, but he had to. He was her husband. The guys at the club, on the other hand, they wanted and lusted after her. Bill sat at his laptop filling out an online form. It was 9:45 when she came downstairs. He looked up. Was she staying or going? She was wearing high-heeled shoes, showing off long, slender legs, disappearing into a short, tight blue dress. He didn't say anything. Was she going to take him up on his offer to let her husband take her to the dance? Or did she intend to go dancing with her slutty friends? She still looked hesitant, then spoke. I'm leaving. We can talk tomorrow. He shook his head slowly and turned back to his computer, silently ignoring her. She stood for a moment, unsure if he was bluffing. He didn't even hear the front door close as she left. He finished filling out the form, attached the link to the email, and hit send. He went upstairs and threw some clothes into a couple suitcases. On Monday, he would tell his boss that he had accepted the job he had been offered in Dubai. He hailed a cab and, while he waited, sent a message to his wife's family group on WhatsApp. Hi, everyone. I'm sorry you have to find out like this, but Anna has made it absolutely clear to me that she needs more excitement and variety in her life than I can provide for her. I emailed her a link to our divorce filing. It has been an honor to be a part of your family, but I hope you can understand why I have decided not to stay in touch with all of you from now on. He had one more thing to do, so he walked over to the printer, took a piece of paper from the output tray, and wrote something at the bottom. He stuck it on top of their wedding picture above the fireplace. Then he turned off his phone and went outside to wait for his cab. Anna had just sat down at a table at the club and was chatting with Gail when her phone rang. If this is Bill begging me to come home, she said irritably. It wasn't. It was her older sister, Karen. Where the hell have you been disappearing to? Karen yelled. I'm at the club with my friends, she said defensively. Why? Does Bill know? Karen asked. Yeah. Well, he knows I'm out with my girlfriends. So what's the big deal? Was he happy about it? Karen seemed angry, but then again she's always had a soft spot for Bill. Well, no. He wasn't happy about it, but I told him we'd talk tomorrow. Well, good luck with that, you stupid fool. He dumped you. If you don't believe that, check your email. Gail watched stunned as Anna frantically tried to open the email app on her phone. Even in the dim lighting of the nightclub, she could see that her friend had gone noticeably pale. It was Anna who noticed the WhatsApp message to her family. That must have been the reason for Karen's call. Then her phone rang again. Thank goodness it was Bill. No, it was her father. What did you say to Bill? Demanded an answer from her father. That man treated you like a queen and you wanted more? No, Dad, I didn't. I just felt trapped. I just needed one night a week, to be myself. What are you, in a fucking nightclub? Your husband just left you and you're going to fucking clubs? He asked incredulously. Her father was clearly furious. He never swore like that in front of his family. What could she answer? She was in a club. It was obvious from the background noise. No, Dad. He must have decided something after I left. Dad? Dad? He hung up. Anna grabbed her bag and phone and hurried to the exit, completely ignoring Gail and not noticing her other two friends as she passed them on the street. She found a cab and was home in 15 minutes. On the way out, she tried to call her husband, but his phone just went to voicemail. The house was quiet and deserted. She kicked off her shoes and ran upstairs. Most of his clothes, his shaving kit were gone. She went downstairs, his phone, laptop, wallet, all gone. Upstairs again, his passport was gone too. He'd warned her, no ambiguity, no room for misinterpretation. If she left that night, she'd come home to an empty house. She knew he hated lies. He'd been betrayed by a girl in the past, and he put honesty above everything else. He did exactly as he said he would. Anna walked downstairs at a complete loss. An hour ago, she had been married. Now they were separated. In less than a year, she would be divorced for going dancing. Then she saw the picture above the fireplace. Something was wrong. When she saw what it did, she almost threw up. It was a picture from someone's social media site. It showed a young man on his knee proposing to his girlfriend. But there in the background was Anna, making out with some guy while he groped her breasts. At the bottom in big black letters, Bill had written, "Lying." Well, then what happens next? Bill goes overseas and Anna was given the freedom she had dreamed of. Everything that happened after that, Anna's abortion and subsequent childlessness 6 months later, Bill eventually marrying a sweet and charming Australian woman he met while kayaking in Dubai, are separate stories that may or may not be written. But their story, Bill and Anna's story, ended there.